Good morning. This is your AI News Bulletin for August 8th, 2026. Here are today's top stories, leading off with OpenAI warning that its upcoming model may have reached critical cyber capabilities. OpenAI says its upcoming model Astra has shown significant advances in agentic coding and cybersecurity, and the company cannot rule out that it has reached critical cyber capability levels under its preparedness framework. Several top names on Google's AI team received new roles this week, with veteran Jeff Dean among those no longer at Google, raising questions about the company's position in the AI race. Scientists at Stanford and the Arc Institute used AI models to design 16 previously unknown viruses that can infect bacteria, a first that could aid the fight against antibiotic resistance. A New Mexico court ordered Meta to pay an additional $567 million in a child safety case, bringing total fines to $942 million. Cloudflare launched Kitesurf, a cloud-hosted browser built specifically for AI agents to navigate websites and complete browser-based tasks without developers needing their own browser software. HR software provider Rippling unveiled an AI spend console after discovering it was on track to burn 40% of its R&D headcount budget on AI tokens. Airbnb says AI has helped it reduce time from concept to launch by 60% and increase shipped features by nearly 80% as it begins testing AI-powered search. Harvard historian Jill Lepore discusses her upcoming book, arguing that tech companies are gradually taking on functions of democratic government, mistaking technological advancement for political progress. Roku added a 24-hour channel featuring AI-generated content from Startup Fairground, offering viewers a constant stream of AI-produced short-form videos. Rapper Fenix Flexin now says he never denied using AI for his song Rubbers, despite previously stating on Hot 97 that there was no AI on it. Now let's go deeper on today's top 3. Starting with our top story. OpenAI disclosed last night that its upcoming model, called Astra, has shown significant advances in agentic coding and cybersecurity during internal evaluations over the past few days. The company said it cannot rule out that Astra has reached the critical cybersecurity threshold defined in its preparedness framework, which it first published in December 2023. Under that framework, a model reaches the critical level if it can independently identify and develop functional zero-day exploits across hardened real-world systems, or devise and execute end-to-end novel cyberattack strategies given only a high-level goal. Previous models, including GPT-5.6 Sol, were assessed at the high threshold rather than critical. OpenAI says it has scaled up robustness testing, implemented stricter security controls including isolated testing environments and restricted network access, and added universal monitoring across all agentic applications of Astra. The company will also work with government agencies and select AI safety organizations to test the model. Going forward, this marks the first time OpenAI has publicly flagged a potential critical level capability, signaling that frontier models are approaching thresholds the company itself defined as requiring maximum caution. Next up, several senior figures on Google's AI team received new assignments this week, and in some cases, including longtime engineer Jeff Dean, those new roles are no longer at Google. The Verge discussed the changes on its podcast, noting that Google's models appear to be trailing the best output from Anthropic and OpenAI, raising the question of whether the leadership changes reflect internal turmoil or a strategic shift. Demis Hassabis, who leads DeepMind, may be seeking different priorities beyond virtual assistants. The discussion also touched on the growing interdependence between Google and Reddit, which has started to look problematic for both companies. The broader question is whether Google is structurally positioned to compete in the current AI race, or whether its organizational model is creating friction at a time when smaller competitors are moving faster. The departures come at a critical moment, as the gap between frontier model releases continues to narrow and talent retention becomes a decisive factor. What happens next will likely determine whether Google can close the perceived gap or whether the shakeup signals deeper structural challenges. And finally, For the first time, an AI system has created previously unknown viruses capable of infecting and eliminating bacteria. Scientists at Stanford University and the Arc Institute used AI models called EVO1 and EVO2, trained on millions of genomes across all domains of life, to design entirely new bacteriophages. These are viruses that infect only bacteria and are considered a promising alternative to antibiotics for treating resistant infections. The researchers used the bacteriophage Fix174 as a reference guide, then had the AI generate thousands of new genomes with compatible architecture. They selected 300 genomes for synthesis, and 16 produced fully functional viruses with previously unseen sequences, different genes, and varying genome sizes. The study, published in the journal Science, also showed that AI-generated phages could rapidly overcome bacterial resistance that natural phages could not. The researchers say this demonstrates a path toward AI-generated phage therapies against rapidly evolving bacterial pathogens. The finding also raises concerns about misuse, as the same technology could theoretically be used to design biological weapons. Going forward, the tension between therapeutic potential and biosecurity risk will likely shape how regulators approach AI-driven biological design. Stepping back, today's stories trace a clear arc. OpenAI warns that its next model may cross a critical cybersecurity threshold. Stanford researchers show AI designing functional biological agents, and Google reshuffles its AI leadership while competitors close the gap. The common thread is that AI capabilities are arriving faster than the frameworks designed to manage them, whether those frameworks are safety protocols, regulatory regimes, or corporate structures. That's your AI News Bulletin for August 8, 2026. See you tomorrow.